I'm Lisa Evans, owner and principal designer of Dimension Interior Design. So my philosophy when it comes to design is really focusing on authenticity and wanting to work with the client and having a client-centric focus on what it is that they need their space to look like or need to perform like. On my end, I would also say it's very intuitive. I try to understand their needs, try to explore what it is they need to get out of it, and then combine all that information with the principles of good design. In my opinion, principles of good design, like proper scale, proper proportions, the right textures, those always translate and work well. And it's just how to make that work with what the client needs. So every project just begins with a quick discovery call just to get the very basics. But the real, I would say, meat of understanding what the project is a consultation in-home. So I am very adamant about always having a complimentary consultation in-home because I think it's a really important step for the client to get to know me and for me to get to know the client. I actually get so much information from looking at their existing surroundings, looking at how they're interacting with their existing surroundings. It really informs me on what they like, what they don't like, what needs to change. Typically, when a client is coming to me, they can describe their vision more as a feeling than an actual specific look that they want to achieve. And by the time they've reached out to me, they've often attempted and failed. They know how they want it to feel, they know how they want it to look, but they just don't know how to get there. How do we define this vision that you have that's really just a feeling of how you want your home to be? And how do we get that on paper in the form of finishes, of materials, of furniture? I have a client who approached me feeling that there was something wrong with their home and not really knowing what the issue was. One of the things I discovered when I visited the home was that the colors were off as far as the wall colors. They felt very dingy, to the point where he said that he was considering selling his home because he felt like there was something wrong. My only recommendation at that time was to change the paint colors. We painted 2 rooms and a bookcase, and the gratitude and the joy from that client to me was such a great example of how those small changes in mood from something just like paint can really improve someone's state of mind. And just by changing the paint, he fell in love with his home again. Your home represents so much more than a roof over your head. I mean, it's your family, it's your children, it's your pets, it's your hobbies, it's your safe place. What I want is to walk away from a project feeling like someone has worked with me to create that safe place for them.